Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second game of the Group A qualifiers of today. This is the loser bracket final. This is Infused versus Ascendance. The first team to take 2 games in this series will be qualifying for MCM, going to that offline battle and also securing themselves a nice £50 prize for winning a series. Choke already secured themselves 100 from winning 2 series. Ascendance just secured themselves 50, I believe, from the last series.
Well, Infused got 50 yesterday as well.
Infused also got 50, so obviously the £250 across this entire Group A qualifier just for some qualifying games is not a bad little prize at all. And also the £6,000 prize pool that's obviously in total for the ESL UK Premiership is still up for grabs at MCM as well. So there's obviously these £50 are coming out from that £6,000, etc. But obviously there'll be a large prize pool for the finalists when they get to MCM.
Yeah, there were really exciting stuff. I think it's £6,000 is the total prize pool for the entire tournament, and at MCM London.
I don't know who just said that.
Did you? I wasn't listening to you. I was reading Twitch chat. Okay, like Twitch chat is more important than you most of the time.
Okay, obviously. Yeah.
Apart from when we're in game, in which case Scoundrel is the font of all knowledge for me. We are into picks and bans, boys. Azir, Nidalee, and Gragas being banned out here by Infused. The Riven, LeBlanc. So we've got 2 target bans already coming out from either of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, 2 target bans coming out. Azir, Nidalee coming out for the Infused line. Again, I think, taking Azir away from Half-Assed Thor is a good idea. Nidalee going against Vale. Gragas being banned out too. Riven, obviously, Chunky always draws a Riven ban. LeBlanc, while I was mentioning that he really wanted to play support LeBlanc, but they're just going to ban that out potentially against Ultra.
Probably against Wawa.
Maybe against Wawa. And Sejuani is going to be banned out for Gamers Legends, but also a bit of a standard ban too. Going to be Hecarim being locked in first for Infused.
Yes, it is. Hecarim locked in first, and we will see what Zizzle and Vale decide to pick up here for Ascendance eSports. I love the way you're like suddenly looking across towards Twitch chat on my monitor now, because you haven't got it open on your own. Don't read Twitch chat, Scoundrel. It's always a dangerous place. Zizzle and Vale are taking their time about what they want to pick up here. We have seen Hecarim in the last couple of games. Of course, Infused will be picking that one up here. Sion, actually someone we haven't seen picked or banned at all over today. Very strong top lane. I'm surprised we haven't seen it that much. Zizzle, of course, has his cannon available if he wants it, though.
Yeah, I mean, Sion fits into specific compositions we haven't really seen. I mean, I think maybe if they'd potentially put a defensive mid lane on Grey Warwick and put Sion on top, that might have worked for the protect the Cogmore composition, but often Lulu top is a little bit better just for that respect. Lulu could have gone mid, though. I mean, that is a thing. We have seen Lulu go mid from time to time, so... Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Sion. Again, it does fit specific compositions, and not necessarily going to be a straight pick or ban. You really have to build something around Sion. He's not totally dominant by himself in terms of a first pick. I mean, you can pick him, and then obviously you're going to go into a lane swap. Sion does well in a lane swap, but yeah, if you like to build compositions around Sion. But going to see a couple more champions coming out here. It's going to be Vladimir and Thresh.
Vladimir and Thresh, we've seen Half-Past Thor play Vladimir already today in that first game against Grey Warwick. Did it very, very well. Thresh on Damnation. Actually, we've seen him tend to go for sort of the more Morgana supporty type supports, which is an odd way to say it.
Morgana supporty type supports.
Morgana and Janna are supporty type supports, in my opinion, and Thresh is a bit more of an aggressive support. So taking that away from Wawa as well. Played that very well yesterday, did Infused Wawa.
Yeah, I mean, Wawa played a great Thresh. Some questionable engages from time to time, but his hooks were always on point, which is, hey.
You have to hit the hooks to be able to get the questionable engage.
Yeah, so that's going to be, Wawa won't be able to pick that one up, but he's got a lot more left in his arsenal. Like, he does indeed like to play sound support. We've seen that before.
If he plays sound support, I will...
Is it brand support, boys?
Oh, please, God, no.
No, brand support's legit.
In Earth, perhaps.
No, brand support is legit. It does an obscene amount of damage.
Yeah.
And also has a good lockup if you can hit that stun. I think brand support is legit.
Okay.
I might just do a cheeky bit of double checking, but
okay. Yeah, no, you can check his profile, see what he's been playing recently. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I think it's.
I think we're on Peter's computer, so I think
we're on Peter's computer, so I'll be fine.
Okay, so the brand has been unlocked in here. Lucian as well for Toaster. Toaster, Wawa, a very strong bot lane at the moment, and we're going to have to see how Subatomic and Damnation do decide to counter out. If it is a brand support, like I feel a little bit like Confused and missed a trick. There we go. I'm going to get words out. I'm really struggling at the moment, in all honesty, to get my words out. But you could pick up Morgana here against a Thresh and a Vladimir and already mitigate quite a bit of damage coming out from Ascendance.
Yeah, so, I mean, brand obviously could go mid. I was just being hopeful that it's brand support. But I would love it if it was. But, I think it really depends on where it's going to run. If that is, I think it could potentially be, it could even be a proxy pick, could be a pick for...
I would have assumed that we got a message from the guys if it was a proxy pick. I think it might be Annie, does that say?
Yeah, so I think that's a proxy pick for Annie. Somehow Ulfrin doesn't own Annie.
Which is very odd as a mid laner.
Well, not even as a mid laner, just as like Annie's one of the cheapest champions in the game.
Yeah.
You could play 2 games of League of Legends and you can unlock Annie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you know.
But
anyway,
you don't even have to do that anymore because they give you IP to start off with. So.
They do, yeah, so you can actually just get Annie. But what's going on the other side of the team? So, we're going to see Ascendance picking up Rek'Sai and Graves. Going to be the first Graves we've seen for a few games now. That's interesting because he has been popular recently.
Yeah, he was banned out in the first couple of games that we've seen today, so that's probably why he wasn't picked up. Tends to be that if someone's banned out against you, you're not able to pick him up. But Subsonic's going to lock in that Graves. It's a Nunu and an Orianna here for Infused. Rek'Sai on Veil, we haven't actually seen him play that Rek'Sai yet. He tended to be the jungler for gamers Grey Warwick, who are taking that Rek'Sai away. Yeah,
so Rek'Sai is going to be onto Veil and potentially going to be the Swag Lord, the Dog King, the Snoop Dogg incarnate. It's going to be Nasus or Susan in the top lane.
If it's Debonair Nasus, I'm going to be so happy.
Debonair
looks
Nasus
amazing.
Is so cool. But I mean, it's going to be Gamers Legends potentially running with Nunu, and it's going to be Ulfrin on Orianna. I think that is a proxy pick for Annie, I'm afraid, guys. It's actually not going to be brand support, as much as I would have loved it to have been. It's going to be a proxy pick for Annie, so it's going to be Annie, Lucian. I'm not even sure if Lucian was a proxy pick. I believe they wanted Kalista, and then they ended up getting Lucian.
Kalista is absolutely amazing, and we saw Wawa and Toaster play the Kalista Annie together and did really, really well. But I think it's probably going to be the Lucian with the brand as a proxy pick.
Yeah, I think that I'm still somehow in awe of Ulfrin that he hasn't unlocked Annie, but he hasn't got Annie, so there is a proxy pick for Annie, and I think we'll see the. As soon as the lock-ins come through, you may see the champs go out of champ select.
It's called Archduke Nasus, isn't it? It's not
Archduke. Same thing.
Yeah,
we are going to see Infused quickly.
I can quickly get into the lobby now as well, because I accidentally closed out of it earlier.
You can get into the lobby.
There we go. Oh, excellent.
Fantastic.
GG, well played.
GG, well played, boys. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be proxy pick for Annie. 450 IP. Yeah, Annie doesn't cost very much at all. They are very, very, very right.
Annie, one of the cheapest champions in League of Legends at the moment. We are just waiting on everyone to get in.
You could go for Pizza Hut for that amount.
Yeah, you could. 450 IP.
450 IP.
If you can go to Pizza Hut for 450 IP, can you tell something to my 16,000 IP I'm sitting on?
I mean, the amount of time it takes you to grind for 450 IP, I'm sure you could go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to afford Pizza Hut. That's the thing, isn't it?
Don't worry, I'm just making
I know you are. I know you're making a UK scene joke, and I'm trying to distract you away from it because we've had enough UK scene drama recently with everything that's been going on. Hopefully we're past that now, and we do have both the teams into picks and bans already. Let's talk a little bit about this bottom lane matchup. Is it going to be Kalista or is it going to be Lucian?
It's actually Lucian.
It's Lucian Annie
wanted to be
Graves
Kalista,
Thresh.
but they couldn't tell them in time, so it's actually going to be Lucian
Okay.
Annie versus Graves Thresh. I think, Kalista Annie is very powerful. We've seen it previously. Both Wawa and Toaster have played that, and it was really, really strong. At level 6, they basically won the lane single-handedly. Wawa was very aggressive with that Annie. But it's going to be a little bit less cut and dry. They'll have a little more pressure earlier on now, but won't be as strong at level 6. They definitely will be quite strong. I mean, anyone with Annie at level 6 is strong, because Annie is just strong at level 6 regardless. But, yeah, I mean, going for Lucian and... they'll have a little bit more pressure against Graves in lane than the Kalista would potentially have, and have a little more time and more space to trade as well.
I was hoping for some funny bans coming out from these teams, so it's just going to be GGG and LMM, which I'm not sure if that is anything. It's slightly hard to say, but I'm not sure if that's some sort of dank meme that I haven't quite caught onto yet. Mid lane, Ulfrin picked up the Orianna. We tend to see him more burst assassins. Zed, of course, one of his favourite Aries as well. And Harpos thought on that. Vlad, who do you think wins in that matchup, sort of in the mid to early game, early to mid game, in fact?
Between who? Sorry,
Vlad and Orianna. Stop reading Twitch.
I'm not. I was actually just loading. I was
please.
Loading Twitter up. Actually, thank you very much.
Stop loading Twitter in picks and bans.
I know.
You're the one who does this. what can I do? Oh, and they've locked in the smite. Are they going to use the smite?
Sorry,
They're going to use the smite. Yes.
I got
smite on a jungler is an amazing pickup.
I got 3 hours. I got 3 hours.
Legends.
I'm sort of fading in and out of actually being able to concentrate. I only got 3 hours sleep last night.
Come on, Excountr. I believe in you.
Yeah, I know. But no, so you're talking about Ulfrin versus Half-Past Thor here. Yeah. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, that is exactly what I was saying.
Ulfrin should be able to command the early portions of the lane, because he was just be able to use his ball to position zone out, a bit like we saw him doing with Azir against when he was playing Azir against Vladimir, he actually had, it works in a similar way. Ulfrin should be able to command the lane with the command attack and command distance, be able to force Vladimir, won't allow him to wave clear as easily. So the earlier stages should definitely go over. But it's a little bit easier for Hafthor to negate any shockwaves coming out with that Sanguine Pool. Quite a few tools for him to avoid that sort of all-in at level 6 that Orianna could potentially look to run with. But Orianna should just be able to sort of zone out Hafthor from this lane, and it should be basically able to just control the lane presence and use that ball and force him so that he can't step up to the minions. That's what you want to do against someone like Vladimir as an Orianna. So Hafthor going to have a little bit more work cut out for him than he was having against Lissandra, for instance, against Grey Warwick. And Ulfrin is a fantastic Orianna player too. So
we haven't talked a huge amount about the sub coming out for Infused here. Gamers Legends is going to be playing Nunu in the jungle for Team Infused. I assume we've still got stream up. There we are. For some reason, we just lost our stream in the middle of the picture. But the Nunu jungle can be very, very effective if you play it properly. We saw Nutri do it a couple of times over Insomnia. We've seen it a couple of times in higher level professional play as well. Do you think he's going to be able to put his early mark on this game against Vale playing that Rek'Sai?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what tactic you want to employ with Nunu. Are you going to be wanting to be aggressive with the counter jungling? Are you going to try and put some early pressure down? Obviously, with Nunu, it's more about your positioning when you come for ganks as opposed to the ganks themselves. If you position yourself where you give yourself a large leeway and allow you to get the most snowball. Isn't they called ice ball?
Ice blast.
Ice blast, yeah. Get as many ice blasts off as possible, then your ganks become more effective. You can't just wander into lane like Rek'Sai and just hope that your massive gap closing abilities are going to do the work for you. You really have to navigate. You have to navigate wards. You have to get it behind the enemy champion and allow. Really works best with someone who's got a higher amount of CC themselves. So I'd imagine Hecarim would have to get a good devastating charge off and then combo that into Nunu and then just continuously look to apply pressure like that. But you don't often see Nunu's run with that. They look really for early objective control. So you imagine maybe an early dragon coming out. Ascendance will probably look to ward for that. Or you'll see a lot of counter jungling coming out as well. But against the Rek'Sai, I don't think Nunu's going to want to go toe-to-toe with Rek'Sai easily. So he'll just maybe try and pick away camps here and there, or he'll look to alter his jungle path so he can try and, I guess, mess up Vale's jungle path essentially. Maybe
I think especially after the first clear as well, he's not going to win those 1v1 trades. No. If you've got a Skirmisher Saber picked up on Rek'Sai as opposed to probably a Rangers Trailblazer on the Nunu, I think that's what we both expect. Vale's going to win out those 1v1 trades, but as you said, it's all about how that Nunu uses his consume and uses his consume smite combo to pick up those early objectives and get...
Just use that consume smite combo, boys.
Well, it's a combo. Do you have to press 2 buttons together? Yes, it's a combo. What's so funny about that?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a given when Nunu is picked that he's going to be using Consume Smite. Could be using Ice Blast Smite. You never know.
Quite possibly. Maybe he'll use Absolute Zero Consume Smite. It's a triple combo then. The triple threat, boys.
Triple combo, boys.
Frigid Nunu using as much ice as he can. Now we are just going to get into the League of Legends game here. Had that load of spectators delay, of course. In the loading screen, Scoundrel, let's talk about a few of our sponsors today. SanDisk, Hyperdrive, one of our sponsors, recently picked up by ESL UK. What can you tell me about them?
Well, I can tell you that they're fantastic and they offer a wide range of memory solutions for PCs, mobile devices. They offer it for cameras as well. I mean, this is fantastic here. Just basically, if you didn't know what any of those objects were, or you may be deaf, I guess you're just...
Charades.
Basically, SanDisk is providing a disability-friendly stream too. We're sort of sign languaging out with cameras and that kind of thing. I like it. It's great. Also, I believe there's another sponsor that we have. We're looking at them right now. What can you tell me about AOC monitors?
AOC monitors are the pinnacle of monitoring prowess. Made with only screens picked out of glaciers in the North Antarctic. Very icy, very smooth, very good. You can put boiling water on them, they'll still survive. And you can even charge them in a microwave, I hear. Very, very strong monitors give you crystal clarity for just the low price of $3.99 a minute, for which Scoundrel can leave you breathless. Good.
I don't know what that was.
AOC monitors, we are just waiting for the spectator bug to get... Of course, AOC, a very good monitor company. We've got 3 of them in front of us here. Use them all the time here at the ESL studios.
I mean, I actually use them personally. This isn't
even at home as well.
This isn't even a plug. I actually use them personally. I just prefer them over every other competitor. They're really fantastic.
Yeah, they do work really well. And of course, we're going to be seeing which of these teams go to MCM London in May. We're going to be there at Scoundrel. I know we've got a nice little apartment sorted out for us by the wonderful guys here at ESL UK as well. And we'll look forward to seeing you all there. The stage is looking amazing. We've got lighting, we've got players, we've got us in the background, we've got an analyst desk as well. It's going to be absolutely superb.
Are you going to cook for me when we're in there?
I will cook. No, I won't.
I'll cook for you, actually. I'm a fairly decent cook.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Why would we cook for us when we've got groupies, man? Get the groupies to bring us food.
I don't have groupies. You have groupies.
I have so many
You
groupies.
do.
I have no groupies. Literally groupie-less.
Less. I don't think that's completely true.
I have fewer groupies than Snoopy.
Yeah, but
that's not really saying much as well.
That isn't hard, my friend.
Here we are, boys, onto the Rift. It's the first game here between Team Infused on the blue side and Ascendance on the red side. Let's run down Infused lineup just quickly. Chunky in the top lane playing Hecarim. Gamers Legends, their sub is playing Nunu in the jungle. And we have Ulfrin playing the Orianna in the mid lane. Toaster in the bottom lane on that Lucian, and Wawa picking up the Annie for the team here. Let's go Infused.
Yep, and we're going to see Zizzle running with Nautilus in the top lane.
Oh, it's AP Nautilus! Exactly. We didn't even talk about AP Nautilus in picks and bans. What is wrong with us?
Somehow we got sidetracked by the glory of SanDisk and AOC.
What is wrong with this AP Not?
Yeah, we were going to see Ascendance pick this up against Choke before we had the issues with the Client and also the Ghost Bride Morgana and things like that. But it is indeed going to be an AP Nautilus in the top lane versus
Look at how happy he is. Look at that. Ah.
Oh, I love the Astro Nautilus skin. And he's going to take away the Wolves as well, so I imagine he'll just be clearing that out with his Titan's Wrath shield. That does some wonderful AoE damage.
Should we run through the rest of the Ascendance lineup? I feel like
yeah. Sorry, I kind of got sidetracked by the AP Nautilus.
Nautilus in the top lane.
Yeah, and it's Vale on Rek'Sai in the jungle. Half past Thor running Vladimir in the mid lane. Subatomic on Graves and Damnation on that Thresh. He will certainly be looking to damn some people with that Death Sentence.
Damn the nation. Pick up those souls and see what he can do. Half past Thor trying to push out Ulfrin in the mid lane. Of course, Command Attack is an okay cleaving tool in the early game if you can get it down on the right people. I'm sure Ulfrin will know how to use this Orianna ball effectively. The question is whether or not he can push Half past Thor out of this lane in the early game, as Half past Thor obviously is going to scale very well into that mid lane.
Damnation already looking to apply pressure. He's taken Flay first, so those auto attacks going to be fairly devastating early on. Sometimes you see Threshers go for that hook first, but they've hit level 2, while Infused already know that. Infused now hitting level 2 themselves, have a little bit less cause to be concerned. Going to step back up to that minion wave. Yeah. Fairly happy with that, hey.
Both of them having Ignite in the bot lane as well makes this a very aggressive lane. Damnation trying to put some pressure into Subatomic. Quick draws in the hook onto Wawa, but he hasn't quite got stun available yet. There it comes down, and Wawa gets ignited as well. That's actually a good trade for Infused because Wawa ignited, didn't use his own, no heal burnt for either the AD carries either. And Wawa will be able to sustain himself up. Interestingly, a Dorman's shield on Damnation, trying to mitigate some of the early poke coming out from the Zanny. But top lane, where Vale is going to get on to Chunky. He's going to knock him up in just a second. There's no flash on this Hecarim. He has got Ignite, but is he going to be able to run away? I doubt it, because here comes Vale. Still has a tunnel up as well. Should be a dead horsey. Robot Unicorn attacked. Oh, what? 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 What was that?
I guess he wanted to kill.
Yeah, but why'd you... Anyway, flashes in for the kill. I feel like it was a little bit of a waste.
Has allowed Game of Legends to go for the level 3 Nunu Dragon, which was obviously always going to be on the cards for the Nunu. Very early on, committing to the top lane does mean that first Dragon in the game goes over to Infused. I don't think Infused will be too sad about that. No. And on blue side, that's a lot harder to pull off with the Nunu because there's a little bit more risk involved if you do get caught.
Yeah.
So they do indeed take the very risky first side, blue side Dragon away and get away scot-free after a nice bit of distraction by Chunky in the top lane. AP Nautilus going for double Dorans here, looking to be very aggressive.
It's got 58 AP already.
Do you know, this Thresh Dorans I haven't seen since, I think, Edward, from Gambit. He really brought that in about 2 seasons ago, I think.
The reason you do it into an Annie Lucian lane is because you know there's going to be a lot of auto attacks coming out from Lucian with the Light Slinger, and the range on Annie is absolutely massive. So she's basically a second AD carry for the first couple of levels because she's doing almost the same amount of damage.
But interesting enough, Wawa doesn't actually choose to auto attack as frequently. He just tries to position himself for the spells and things a little bit more. You often don't see him being as aggressive as he probably could be. I guess he doesn't want to step out of position because the hooks are always going to be a threat from Damnation. So he's just being a little bit more careful. He's going to save this stun, which will be really useful in the coming gank, as Vale is just waiting in that side brush. Wawa may step up and put a ward down. As soon as he does, I think Damnation will realize, and he's going to see it.
He flashes away already. Tunnels does come out, and Toaster gets knocked up, but here comes Nunu. Gamers Legend. Vale is so low already. Wawa gets a stun onto Subatomic, but the the Lantern was grabbed there by Veil. He does manage to get away. No flash burn on Toaster, though. An early flash from Wawa got him across towards safety. Veil had to burn his own flash as well. So a good little trade there for Infused, you'd have to say, after an early gank coming out from
Veil trying to take this blue buff, but Gamers Legend has had none of it. He's going to take that one away. Veil hasn't taken this first blue buff off the map yet, because I believe that was a very early gank in the top lane.
He did go. He went straight from red up towards the top. Gamers Legend's going to try and take this away. Does, of course, have the Smite Consume combo.
That combo, boy.
Which is what he'll use to take it away. He will be spotted out, though, by Veil, who's deciding just to stay around a little bit. He's going to get chased off, though. Like, I feel like Veil was just a little bit weirdly greedy there, because like, he didn't pressure too much for the blue buff. He just stayed around, got the timer. None of his team was reacting anyway, and then he tunnels away anyway, so he just goes up towards the Razor Beaks.
And Gamers Legend just looking to take away as much of this jungle as physically possible, because the jungles have a little bit longer spawn times now. Oh, it looks like Damnation wants to come and try and get the final auto attack.
Takes it away with the flame.
Yeah, still gone for a Veil, I guess, so Veil going to try and make his own way up to top lane. He wants to get another gank off. He will be spotted out by this ward, so there'll be a little bit more time for Chunky to react here.
Here comes Gamers Legend, though, trying to get onto Orphan, onto Harpa's Thor, sorry, with Orphan. Orphan doesn't actually have that much mana here, so it's just going to be pushing Harpa's Thor back. Level 6 on both those mid laners already. Veil trying to come in for a little bit of a counter gank. What can he do here, though? There's a lot of minions. The Hemoplay comes down. He's going to jump in. Gamers Legend the target, but Orphan is going to be able to get away. The flash comes out from Gamers Legends away as well. And it looks like Harpa's Thor's going to dive this. No! No! He doesn't quite manage to pick it up. Gamers Legend positioning himself perfectly away from the damage, and Chunky with that Spirit of Dread and the Ignite is going to pick up Zizzle in the top lane. AP Nautilus not quite managing to stay in the skies at the moment. Flying around the world, but not able to not crash and burn.
Yeah.
He crashed and burned is what I was trying to go for.
Yeah, I mean, roundabout way of saying it, but you got there, buddy.
Eventually.
You got there, buddy. And Chunky, despite being down early on, does manage to give himself a little bit of a padding in that top lane. Managed to pick up a bit of a kill and a bit of more gold and potentially put himself in a fairly strong position. He's going to be going up against a double Doran's Zizzle. I imagine he'll be finishing up that Phage pretty quickly, or maybe even going towards some tier 2s. Yeah, it's going to be the Phage very early on for him. That'll give him a nice bit of extra movement speed when he's going for the prolonged engages. Also, obviously, the health will also be very useful too.
Okay.
What I really like about the way Gamers Legend is playing this Nunu is that when he does have the opportunity to take things away from Rek'Sai's jungle, he is doing it. Quite often you see Nunus be far too passive in that respect, and they don't have the I guess the presence of mind to know when to go aggressive and try to exploit the enemy jungle. And, you know, after Veil being going so low in that bot lane, they saw that the blue buff wasn't on him, and they saw he was heading towards this blue buff area. An immediate reaction from Gamers Legend to head there and do his best to shut him down on that side of things was really, really solid. Also, with Dragon being up in 1 minute 40, I don't believe Ascendance have a timer on it.
Right, you get the timer when you see the buff come down, so I think they did see the buff.
They didn't see the Dragon buff. They didn't see Dragon go down.
But you see the buff go onto the other laners now, don't
sorry,
you?
Sorry,
I keep saying it as well and thinking they don't really have the best timer. They'll have a
they'll have a timer that they should understand.
If they noticed it, they should have the timer. Harpa's still doing it quite low. The Void Rush just come in, but Gamers Legend can pop out with 0. Veil, what are you doing? Knocks him up. Harpa's still trying to come in from the side. Open, gets Veil so low. He's going to use that tunnel to get away, but the Shockwave across the wall is enough, and it's the Shockwave Excalibur. I know how excited you get by them.
I love Shockwaves.
Open picks up his second kill of the game, building towards the Morello Nomicon. Gamers Legends once again doing work. He's picked up that Cinder Hulk enchantment on his Rangers Trailblazer already. He's slightly ahead of Veil, you must say, with those 2 assists under his belt.
Yeah, definitely so, and he's a really good reaction to just throw that Shockwave out to secure the kill, knowing that Veil's flash was down from that previous gank in the bot lane. So nice blind Shockwave. I guess he kind of knew exactly what he was doing, but it actually wasn't even blind. They have a ward there. So there was nice Shockwave regardless from Alfred, and it looks like immediate punishment coming out from Gamers Legend. He's going to go take the Gromp away, make sure that Rek'Sai can't have that, and he's also going to get the Rift Scuttler in time for the next Dragon in 20 seconds. Will Ascendance choose to try and contest this? That is the question. Obviously, Nunu can do it by himself. There won't be an immediate reaction from the Infused lineup, I believe. So unless they do have that timer exactly, it should be an easy Dragon for the Gamers Legend. Nice
hook by Damnation. The box comes down. Wawa, nice Tibbers from him. Damnation's the target here from Toaster. Wawa with a great reactive Tibbers stunned up all 3 members of Ascendance there.
Yeah, and Gamers Legend reacting, going straight for this Dragon. There is, obviously, I think Veil does realize he's going to be moving down to the ward there, and they do have the timer for it. So Veil wants to make sure he does as much as he can to defend this Dragon out. That's a nice reaction from Ascendance.
Yeah, really good reactions there by Ascendance. Half-Past Door came down as well. Games Legend will get away, and Wawa will be able to come up here and just help clear out that ward.
This is Shockwave territory, though. If they're not careful, this is Shockwave territory.
They decided to rotate up towards their tower. Like, as much as Ascendants have perhaps been overly aggressive once or twice, they're just going to back away from this one. And I think they'll give up this Dragon now. Now that Ulfrin's positioned there, they got the ward out. You don't really want to be trying to pressurize an Orianna who already has that Morello Nomicon and a BF sword on Toaster as well, all of them on full HP. And what you're going to do, you're going to get close to it, and then the Smite Consume combo from Gamers Legends will take away the Dragon anyway.
Every time we see Smite Consume,
I'm going to say it's a combo.
It's going to be the combo.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I thought as much.
It's like going to KFC. Every meal's a combo. And Gamers Legend is making a meal of these Dragons. Well, gets Hemoplagued, but will be able to walk away. Just securing the blue buff here for Ascendance. Veil will take that one for himself. And they will just return to normality. Half-Past Thor struggling a little bit in this mid lane against the 2-0 Orianna. He's about 20 CS behind. And I was going to talk a little bit about the Nautilus Hecarim matchup in the top lane. Nautilus Zizzle has been behind for most of this game thus far. But we saw him pick up a kill. He's now 1-on-1. He's got a Catalyst. We so rarely see AP Nautilus top. I don't know how he's meant to work against the Hecarim in lane and whether he's there for the late game or whether he's meant to win out his lane early.
I guess he's really just looking to shut Hecarim down with the hard CC that he provides. I mean, Hecarim obviously doesn't have any gap closers that can't be shut down by Nautilus fairly easily. You know, you see Devastating Charge coming towards you. You can use that Riptide. You can use the that Riptide. You can use the Dredge line. You can use even the depth charge if you really need to. So, you know, should Chunky try and get into a position when he's going aggressive onto Zizzle, and right now we may see it in action. Yep,
Chunky's going to get caught out. The depth charge, the knock up, and that Hecarim is going nowhere. Gets taken out by Ascendance, and Veil and Zizzle once again making their ganks count. With the Dragon not there on the bottom side of the map, they don't even give up anything for this, and Zizzle is just going to continue to push on to this tower. Apart from the fact that Games Legends coming across, he needs to be a little bit careful because Veil can come behind him here. The Absolute Zero used for the slow. He's going to keep chasing. He'll do a lot of damage to Zizzle over the time, but the Titan's about to use, and here comes Veil. Flash away by Games Legends, but the Dredge line connects, and Nunubot is going to an early push back to his tower because he's going to get away. The teleport in from Chunky. He has got the Onslaught of Shadows. Here we go onto Veil. Going to try and lock out that Rexo, who does tunnel away, but here's the Onslaught of Shadows. The flash comes out from Veil. He's going to keep getting chased. The Ignite, the Spirit of Dread, the Rampage, and Chunky picks up a blue for himself. Gamers Legend doing work on that Nunubot.
Yeah, doing absolute work across the map. Had a little bit more impact across the map than this Rek'Sai has, and has been punishing him every time. Again, you see him go down, he goes immediately into the jungle and takes away another camp, which won't be up for, I believe, is it a minute now? They take
a minute and a half, I think.
Minute and a half to respawn, so there's a camp off the map, and he's going to go ahead and take away the Golem. So this is how you want to play Nunu. Yeah. Anyone that wants to a bit of a inspiration to play a Nunu, this is how you do it. You just move in, and actually he's
Here comes Rek'Sai though. Gamers Legend is behind this one. Chunky there as well. He's taken down to off HP already, and Veil is going to try and get onto that Hecarim. He knocks him up. Knocks him out of that devastating charge, but he will be able to push around. Half-Past Thor coming in though. Hemoplague, Chunky's dead. There's no way you get out of that. Veil picks up his second kill of the game. Perhaps would have been nicer going across onto Half-Past Thor, but they won't say a no to kills at this point. It's 4-4, a little bit of a gold lead for Infused.
Yeah, a lot of these deficits that are being lost from the jungle, they're kind of being made up for the kills that Veil is picking up too, so he's actually not far behind the Nunu whatsoever. But 2 dragons down to Infuse. The next dragon should be on the cards in around 2.5 minutes. Which will be another option for Gamers Legend. He's got the Rangers Trailblazer, so he hasn't gone for the counter jungling, which I think is a little bit better for Nunu. It provides you a little bit more stable income. You don't have to commit to counter jungling to get your income. You can just farm up your jungle and then also counter jungle larger camps more effectively.
Wow! And the flash hook on Damnation, a nice stun here, and Tosa's going to be able to escape with that Relentless Pursuit. Veil goes low again. The culling. So low. He will escape with about 150 HP. Wawa does have flash available. Might go in for this one.
Oh,
no! Wawa. He is crying his way back to the fountain. He walks forwards into collateral damage, into box shot, into a hook. trying to chase a little bit too hard, and once again we say Wawa sometimes goes a little bit too ham too fast, likes to make those sandwiches, but here comes Gamers Legend, the hook comes out, the absolute zero, Damnation might go down here, one more auto from Toaster would help out a lot. Gamers Legend going to chase onto Subatomic, there was a shield coming out from the Lantern, Subatomic jumps back in, the heal from Toaster, not going to be enough, Subatomic is going to pick up a kill, but Gamers Legend still very high on HP, has that Ice Blast available, and here comes Ulfrin from the middle lane, the Lantern's going to get him out, but Ulfrin has Flash, decides against going in, he has distanced himself. Subatomic will be able to get away. Meanwhile, Chunky takes out that top lane tower, a flash away by Zizzle, who might want to turn this one round. Hasn't got his ultimate available, obviously just used it, and will just back away.
He's actually going to be going for the Rod of Ages too, so this is going to be a Maokai-like top laner. So in terms of the sense that he's going for that Rod of Ages, he's going to get it moderately late, I guess. I mean, because it has been a bit of a 2 and 4th backlane, he hasn't managed to pick that up before 15 minutes, but he will finish it within the next 2 or 3 minutes, which means by at least 25 to 28 minutes he should have it fully stacked.
Yeah.
Again, that was interesting from the bot lane from Infused. A little bit too aggressive, I feel, from Wawa. Yeah. I think a bit greedy-eyed, having seen how low Veil was and maybe thought they could turn it around, but weren't counting on the counter hook and the massive burst that you'll get from the Graves lane.
It wasn't a death sentence, it was a death paragraph as collateral damage came in along with that buckshot as well. Wawa could write an essay on getting caught out because he's been a little bit over-aggressive, and Gamers Legend, being aggressive himself, has done a great job on this Nunu thus far, being able to get in for those blue buff steals. It's actually a 1:40 spawner on those Razorbeaks. I just had a little quick Google. Google is our friend.
I wondered what you were doing on your phone. I was...
well, usually when you're talking, I'm playing Tap Titans. We've discussed this before, and any other incremental games that you can get on your phone, including Clash of Clans and other fun stuff like that. But yeah, 1:40 on the Razorbeak spawner. Toaster and Wawa trying to push out this bottom lane a little bit. They're equal on CS, but behind on kills. Infinity Edge already finished for Subatomic, and Ascendance actually very close in this game. It's a little bit of a gold disadvantage, about 2,000 at this point. That's only a 10th of the overall gold, and with Half Past Thor sitting on 2,800 gold in that mid lane, next time he backs, he's going to get a big power spike. It looks like it's going to be a Spirit Visage from him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the build that he favoured previously. You get the Hextech Revolver and then go towards a Spirit Visage. He's very, very much behind on CS, though. He is 50 CS down at this point in time. So what we said Ulfrin should have been doing has been working quite effectively for him. He's just been trying to keep Half Past Thor away from as much CS as possible. But obviously, the longer this goes, the worse it is for Infused. But Gamers Legend!
Gamers Legend, absolute zero. There's the shockwave on 2. Oh my goodness gracious me! Ulfrin with the plays. Gamers Legend and him obviously have some very good synergy because Nunubot sent those guys to the scrap heap. They are consigned to be junk for now as Toaster and Wawa push up the rest of this lane. Didn't actually get assists. I think they might have got assists on those. I don't think they got a kill because, of course, the double kill going across towards Ulfrin. He's got 4 of the kills for his team. Chunky's got 2 of them, and he's in the top lane. Chunky's actually died 3 times. Didn't realize that he had not done as well as he would have liked to in this lane. He's ahead of CS, though.
He's still winning the lane, though. He's still winning the lane. He's died 3 times because he's been camped, but, I mean, Infused have got so much out of that. And Chunky's still very much ahead. I mean, he's got a Triforce at the similar time of the Rod of Ages. You could arguably say that Triforce is probably a bigger power spike for Chunky than Rod of Ages is for Zizzle. I don't know too much about
Veil's going to go on to Ulfrin here. There's the Hemoplague as well, but Ulfrin will use the command protect. Half Past Thor trying to flash in for the transfusion, but he's not quite going to be close enough, is he? Maybe. He's popped the ghost. He's going to keep going. Not quite close enough. Rayseeker doesn't land, and Ulfrin will get away, but Chunky will not, as Damnation and a Zizzle, the Hook Bros, in the top lane, help pick up kill for Zizzle.
Yeah, large rotation there from the Ascendance lineup. Ulfrin did manage to escape with his life. I don't know, Chunky was going toe-to-toe with Zizzle. Maybe he just realized there was no way for him to escape and decided to consign himself to the grave as the rest of the Ascendance guys head up. Yeah, I mean, right now, Infused basically... everything is riding on Ulfrin getting those big shockwaves like he did previously. We're seeing him every single small skirmish that he's involved in. He does really, really well. Yep. We've seen this time and time again from Ulfrin and Orianna. It's a champion that he just consistently performs on. And Gamers Legend 005 has definitely done quite a lot across the map. He's going to take this blue buff away, actually. So Ulfrin won't have this blue buff. Wondering, there must be
you've got to get more consumed Smite combos off, haven't you? And more absolute zeros. Gamers Legend's done a great job this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Gamers Legend had a really, really good game. Mainly controlling objectives, punishing mistakes from Vale by just counter jungling, and Dragon up. I know it's actually Baron up in 15 seconds because they actually have taken that third Dragon. So
three dragons already.
I know, 19 minutes into the game because of that early Dragon by Gamers Legend. They're putting the pressure on for the very early 5 Dragon combo. I mean,
29 minutes if they get all 5.
Yeah, 29 minutes if they get all 5, and that's a very early 5 Dragon combo, obviously. But I think Ascendance will have something to say about that.
Well, I thought they'd have something to say about the third one, but they didn't really contest that at all. And Gamers Legends, is he going to be a legend of the league here? He's going for this Baron. As soon as it spawns, there's only Ali and Chunky helping him out as well. He's already down to 7,000 HP. They don't realize it's getting taken. Look at Ascendance. They're like, oh, we'll get our Razorbeaks, boys. Get those map objectives, get that map awareness. They don't know. And Wawa, Gamers Legends, and the infused Chunky Hecarim along with that Bear Tibbers.
I'm sure they must know. They must.
Do they? Why? They've just engaged mid lane, but Open's going to take down Damnation almost in a 1v1. There's the Hemoplague. The Baron's go down. They know now, of course. But Open not even going to go down to that. Hemoplague will go down to the Transfuse. But here comes Toaster. Here comes the rest of Infused eSports. Bale's going to go down. Subtomic trying to turn it around, but the culling comes out. There is the unstoppable onslaught, and Chunky takes out Damnation. Subtomic having to run. Zizzle, well, he's going to fizzle out here in just a minute. He's going to get taken down. Astro Nautilus, this is the space movie we've always wanted to see. Gravity is not on your side here, Zizzle. Being pulled down by those Ice Blasts, and Gamers Legend will pick up his first kill of the game. He's 1-0-6, but the amount of map objectives, the amount of map presence he has had in this game has been astronomical.
This is very classic fake out Nunu. You play Nunu and you take these objectives and you just, because he can do them solo quite easily, or at least with very minimal help. By putting Toaster in that bot lane, it gave the false pretense that actually Infused had absolutely no way near going to be.
He's going to get hooked. He's going to give his life for the inhib. Gamers Legend might give his up as well, but doesn't have the flash available. He's going to try and run through the tower in the bottom lane. It won't be enough, and he gets sent back to the junkyard. The rest of Ascendance trying to push out here as the inhibitor's gone down. There's a teleport behind them. Astro Nautilus, can he make the astronomical play? He's going to flash hook, and he can! Toaster gets pulled back to earth, gets taken out by Vale. And they will be able to back away. A good little couple of kills there by Ascendance as they're trying to reach for the stars.
Yeah, how much they're going to get out of it realistically depends on who can defend, because obviously Ulfrin not in the position to wave clear here. They may get 2 turrets in the mid lane for it, which would be a good trade, but Inhibitor has gone down for them, so they're going to be facing fairly substantial threats. And obviously, if Infused are going to die, they've timed their death pretty well, because they'll all be up for the next Dragon, which is obviously what they're going to want. They do have to worry, I think, about Half Past Thor at this point, though. He's getting up towards the 2 items of Spirit Visage and Will of the Ancients, so in a split push role he'll be useful, and obviously he'll be a little bit harder to kill in teamfights. He won't be one-bombing anyone, though. He won't be doing crazy damage to a singular target, or, you know, you won't have to be too worried in that sense, but definitely going to be a little bit more durable in these teamfights.
Yeah, definitely is. But meanwhile, we see Toaster just going to go into this bottom lane, push that out. He's got his Infinity Edge Zeal and a Cloak of Agility, so building towards that Phantom Dancer. But with Dragon spawning in 13 seconds, Half Past Thor's backed away here. Gamers Legend could take this one by himself. Bale's going to try and come across. He is 5-3 on that Rek'Sai with the Randuins already. Yeah. But Gamers Legend, once again, gets some early ward pressure and will spot out the Rek'Sai as he comes in. He's going to decide to start up the Dragon, because Ulfrin has caught off Rek'Sai here, along with Wawa. Going to push him back the White Score. He was pop. Vale's coming across, but Open does still have that shockwave available. Toaster here as well now. Vale's going to try and get in, but he can't really do much against so much damage coming out from Infused. Toaster pushed back Subtomic with a nice crit as well. The flash stun isn't going to quite connect there by Wawa, but the culling will connect. Subtomic gets taken out. Toaster trying to flash away here. Will survive for just a second. Toaster. It's a double kill. The Dragon does go down, the 4th of the game. Open got taken out, but Damnation, absolute zero. He can do nothing about it. In fact, he can do absolutely zero
about it. Yeah. I was thinking it too.
Gamers Legend's going to go for this blue buff. Half Past Thor is there, but Gamers Legend does not care at all. The Warmock's armor on him, along with almost a Frozen Heart as well. He's going to turn and burn. Dredgeline and the Depth Charge are available. Zizzle has popped that ultimate. Wawa got staggered with that blow. Half Past Thor still alive for just a second. They get one, but Zizzle's going to run, and he is going to fizzle away off towards his tower, which isn't there. And here comes Gamers Legend. Flash Ice Blast. What an amazing Nunu play here from Gamers Legend. Like, I don't want to say that he has carried this Infused team, but he's definitely been one of the most defining factors of this game.
You know, he's basically single-handedly shut down any chance of Ascendance and Vale putting their mark on the map in terms of objectives. Every single dragon has been controlled by Gamers Legend. He's even controlled a couple of the buffs on the enemy side of the jungle and taken away a lot of the enemy jungle in terms of counter jungle. It's very difficult as a Nunu to do that effectively. You've got to choose your times, otherwise you could be caught with your pants down in the enemy jungle. And still now, he's starting to counter jungle, takes that away with ease. And yeah,
Look at how many buffs he has.
Yeah.
Look at that other side. That's amazing.
I've been very.
Someone's got a full bar of buffs.
I've been very impressed with Gamers Legend on this Nunu, and I imagine Ascendance. I don't think they'll want to ban it. But
oh, the hook. Wow. Gamers Legend onto Damnation. There is a Toaster here as well. Are they going to burn the bread? Subatomic might go very low. The Ice Blast comes in. A crit from Toaster at the end. But with Veil and Half-Hearted Thor trying to close in on this two-man squad from Infused, they will just back away. Look how jolly quick they are as well.
Jolly quick.
We'll just back away.
And also, we forget about the Blood Boil. Blood Boil is really, really great for Lucian. Obviously, there are other AD carries that really rely on attack speed for more that you may want it
Bane,
on. But
Cogmore, things like that.
Exactly, but you're never going to say no to a high-level Blood Boil and an AD carry. It's always going to make Toaster that much more effective, especially with the Phantom Dancer too. The higher crit that it provides in Static Shift now, obviously they moved some crit from Infinity Edge onto Phantom Dancer a while back. So having that increased attack speed just gives you more opportunity to get crits off. And it works really well with his build.
What is that damage? That was one command attack onto Zizzle.
Wow.
With a dissonance. Yeah,
that's just Orianna, mate. That's just Orianna. That's what she does.
When she's 4-2-2 and's got a Rabdons and a Void Staff already, she is very difficult to deal with.
And almost 100 CS up over her lane opponent too. Got to say, Ulfrin's Orianna's always impressed me, and he's had a great game too. But obviously, we're still talking about how fantastic Gamers Legend has been. And in 1 minute 20, the next Baron is up, and like you said, there is cause for maybe a 31 minute 5 Dragon buff. Ascendance definitely are looking like they're on the descent with this 10k gold deficit that they've got to make up somewhere.
They started off okay.
They did start off really well.
Bits of objectives here and there. I mean, they're still very equal on kills. It's just a CS at disadvantage, and those dragons and 7 towers to 1 as well.
And the Baron too.
And the Baron, that was picked up earlier.
And it's so easy to take towers as well. Having that Blood Boil combo for Lucian just allows tower sieging. It's a bit like having that Jinx passive from Pow Pow built in. You just get that increased attack speed, allow Lucian to do as much damage as physically possible. The Light Slinger will be even more effective too, just because you're consistently putting more damage down to these towers with Blood Boil. And,
Clockwork wind up, of course, on that Orianna, giving her a bunch of damage to towers as well. So very difficult to.
Does Clockwork wind up affect towers?
I think it does.
Okay.
You can check.
I will
if not, she's got a lot of AP early in the game, so you do get 40% of your AP transferred to a tower damage when that is above the amount of AD you have. The Baron is going to come and go in just a second, you have to feel, because already Infused are ready and raring to go for it.
Oh, but Ulfrin trying to get caught out here.
He does get caught out, and Half-Hearted Thor will take him down. There's still a little bit of a push gank here for the side of Infused. They are retreating, but there's a Tremor Sense, absolute zero from Gamers Legend. That does nothing, mate. You have to actually hit the enemies with it. Has frozen that bit of ice, though. They can go figure skating if they want. And Ascendance eSports will try and push down this middle lane in a tower.
I think they were expecting a complete engage from the Ascendance lineup after Ulfrin went down, but they've managed to split the Infused lineup here. Certainly going to be this turret going down. The culling does come through. Got to be careful though. One hook and Toaster will be toast.
Yes, he will.
Not going to happen though. That's just the turret going down. They're going to back off. Not the worst result in the world for Infused. But it's a
he flashes, but the Timbers comes out. There's the unstoppable also, and Veil going into the backline. Subatomic is so low. Does pop the collateral damage. He'll get knocked back by Chunky though, and Veil gonna get taken out here. You have to expect Half-Hearted Thor trying to do as much as he can, but Gamers Legend still alive. Chunky very low, and Zizzle trying to chase onto him. Tries to pop that Spirit of Dread. Is it going to be enough? No, Zizzle manages to get the kill. Damnation and Half-Hearted Thor and Zizzle, the 3 members left alive here. Toaster, Ulfrin, and Wawa, along with Gamers Legend. The Ice Blast was so long range, it did connect, and Zizzle, there's the stun. Zizzle wasn't actually a stun, and there's a flash away by Half-Hearted Thor, but Ulfrin can keep chasing. In fact, he will keep chasing because he can push the rest of this Ascendance lineup away. No, the shockwave, the death, the destruction, the destroyer of worlds is Ulfrin. And Half-Hearted Thor does manage to pick up the counter kill, but a 3v1 Ulfrin picks up 2. And it looks like Gamers Legend, Wawa, and Toaster going to try and take down this Baron. They have to be careful. The Half-Hearted Thor does have Hemo Plague, doesn't have Flash. He's positioning slightly badly here. Pushes the ward across the wall, decides against going in. There was a Void Rush used, but they are not in too much of a rush to steal that Baron away. 20 seconds on Dragon. Can Infused get there in time to get their 5th Dragon and the Baron? Because if they can, you have to think Ascendance really don't stand a chance.
Yeah, 5th Dragon and Baron is just too much, I think, for the Ascendance lineup to deal with. Gamers Legend already in position with that Blood Boil and the home guards. He's going straight for Veil.
Does get knocked up. Veil already at half HP. Chunky there with the Triforce and with the Yumus as well. Going to try and burn onto Veil. He does flash away, but Chunky's going to chase that one down. Gamers Legend turn back around onto Subtomic. Look at this. This is an AD carry versus a jungler. And the AD carry is doing nothing. Subtomic's going to have to take the Lantern away. Damnation trying to turn. Harpa's Thought is there now, and there's the unstoppable onslaught. Harpa's Thought going to go very low, does pop the Sanguine Pool. Chunky quite low as well. The collateral damage has come out, but Gamers Legend once again chasing off most of the Ascendant lineup. Zizzle is there. Gamers Legends again comes out of the bush and says, "Excuse me, Nautilus, do you have a second to talk about Ice Blast?" And he manages to push away that Nautilus. It's going to be the 5th Dragon of the game here for Team Infused. And you have to think they're going to be unstoppable after this. Yeah,
I'd certainly say that I've got several seconds to talk about the Ice Blast. Gamers Legend is unkillable at this point in time. Graves doesn't have that last whisper. There's a lot
of... The Shockwave by Orphan to clear the wave.
Well, you might as well at this point. You might as well, to be honest. It's on a 68-second cooldown.
I've never seen that. Like all the time you see like True Shot Mirages and stuff like that, but Shockwave, one of the best spells in the late game, was just used to clear a wave of minions that were going down anyway. Veil tries to tunnel away. The teleport coming in. There they go. Righteous Glory is being popped. They're going to chase onto Veil. Rek'Sai not long for this world. She gets taken down. And the inhibitor in the mid lane is the next target here for Team Infused. Big wave in the top, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too much stronger than Infused pushing as a 4-man squad. What can they do? Their minions, of course, they're 5th at the moment. Damnation has to flash away from the absolute zero. Chunky doesn't get hooked. The Hemoblade did go down really well from Harvard Sword because he positioned himself behind the fight. But what can he do? Ulfwin's on his way still, only about halfway to this fight. Chunky, Toaster, Wawa, and Gamers Legend trying to do what they can to push down onto these Nexus towers. It's down to about a 2/3 of its HP, half of its HP, and Orphan has now joined the fray. Infused, looking aggressive, looking manly, looking like a robot unicorn is about to attack. Is Chunky going to go in? He's got the unstoppable onslaught if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, look how awesome these guys look with both of those buffs that he learned. Fiery, Baron buff, it's fantastic.
Chunky goes in, the Shockwave only hits Damnation, but they do get the kill with the Tibbers Veil. The next target, Gamers Legend, is such a tanky machine. Harpa's Thoughts going to have to run away. Zizzle's going to have to run away. Subtomic does manage to pick up Chunky. It's 1 for 2 at the moment. Harpa's Thought pops the Zhonya's, but Absolute Zero is there. Wawa and Open cleaning up the fight. Absolute Zero picks up the top lane AP Nautilus, which hasn't really had the effect it would have liked. Subtomic gets absolutely destroyed. They split the atom there, and they will manage to pick up the Nexus. Infused are going to take game 1.
Take game 1 in fantastic style. Got to give the MVP over to Gamers Legend on that Nunu. He played fantastically. Everyone in Infused had a brilliant game. Chunky playing very Dyrus-like, drawing the pressure, allowing his team to make use of that time. And we're going to say GG to Infused, and great performance by pretty much everyone, but especially Gamers Legend, controlling those objectives, controlling the counter jungling, and really just shut Veil down completely. Veil picked up kills, but more importantly, didn't pick up anything else, unfortunately. So GG to Infused. We're going to be getting into the second game of this best of 3. Infused need 1 game to secure their place at MCM. 1 game, guys. Stick around.